think it comes down on something like that? How do you think the universe at large, knowing that you've taken its power and tried to steal it, what do you think it does to something like that? I think it raises its ugly, ugly head and comes down on it and just destroys you.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. You better hope it wants something to do with you. Because if you're screwing up and it doesn't want anything to do with you, just let it die. Let it fall off. Hopefully you're not one of those. Can you imagine what that would be like? And on the trail I've chosen, which is not, and this is for that thing too, because there's a lot of people out there, because I play these on the internet. My time with Carlos, nothing. I mean, a lot of the same experiences, sure, but nothing like his with Don Juan. That ended there. That stopped there. That was, how would you put it? Things go through cycles, right? That was one. It's done. Now we're in a new one. This is a new one, where I'm really lost, because you guys handed me all this stuff. You've put it inside of me. When Carlos died, he had a lot of stuff. Right? Not tons of it, but there was like a book that's floating around somewhere. Someone has it. It's about that thick. And from what I remember, it was called Knowledge, the Most Significant Problem. It was his his opus. The thing was huge, and it was all handwritten on unlined paper. This is what is so amazing. It's written on unlined. There's no lines. It's like computer paper. Straight across. Straight and very tiny and perfectly straight. It's like when he says writing was an act of sorcery for him, there's no doubt. I remember sitting there, he's doing some of the pages of that book like this, talking to me. And I look over, and it's perfectly straight, all the way across, and really small.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, right? But that's nothing. Imagine what you could do.
Can you expound on that writing as an act of sorcery?
When you are no longer determining from this very limited scope of knowledge, this very limited state of being, when you're no longer determining your reality, when you've decided that you want to wake up and be what you truly are, what is truly looking out of your eyes, that's what you want to be. Right? And you've given up all your ideas about it to be it. And you've given up all of your confusion about what you should do with your life to put more energy behind that. When you've taken the full extent of your life force and stuck it back behind that, you're no longer deciding what happens anymore. Okay? So how will I put this? I want to take this very far. When that happens, your natural self comes forward. It used to be referred to in times of old as the other. This is the time of that. Right? So, when that moves through you, I don't know, have you ever driven and ended up somewhere and wondered how the hell you got there? But yet you did it, and you obviously did it well. You didn't get pulled over, and you didn't get in an accident. So you did it right. There you go. There it is.
Yeah.
He did that in writing. I know people who do that when they wash their dishes. It's whatever activity you will allow yourself to be awakened in. It's sorcery. If that means in your personal life, right on. If that means in the way you treat other people, get to it. If that isn't the way you treat yourself, there's no time like now. But you got to be what you really are. All the identities anybody's ever bought were told to them. They didn't come up with them on their own. Some of them are pieces from many. What's you? What is you? What is all you? No one else, just you. What is that? Right? Until you find that, there really is no connection. There's a connection between you and what made you. But you and what made, the other thing that was made by the same thing, that doesn't get to be quality until you have it already. So that's where I put my umph. Right? I don't like to write. It bores me to no end. Too much coffee involved. Makes your stomach sort of gurgle. Too much staring out the window involved. Too much no real relating with other people involved. Before this could be a very, very hermetic ride. And not anymore. Sorry. It's evolved now. We're on a group ride now.
So getting to the other is just whatever feels natural.
It's wherever there's no resistance to what is happening.
Okay. It's not.
The minute a thought comes in,
It's the block.
it's been diverted. It's
Okay.
been diverted, right? Let me see if I can elaborate on something. This might clear up a lot. Okay, so this life force. Let's just play a little bit, okay? The sun. We look up at the sun, right? And imagine this, that behind the sun is nothing. There's the sun. And it emanates light, right? And this light spreads out across its galaxy, its arena, right? And wherever it decides to do its thing, bam, a planet shows up in that field of light, right? And then bam, people show up on it, trees and oceans, and right? It's all streaming through, right? That thing that's streaming out is coming through the back of our head. Hello, right? So it's coming through. We have will, which is free, undetermined, basically, right? We have a mind, easily corruptible. So what happens is that life force goes streaming through you could actually, we're playing, so we're only using, hypotheticals here. So it comes streaming through the spiritual existence of you. No problem, unfettered, right? It comes down to the, let's just say the mental or emotional, which goes from spiritual into emotional next, right? And then it goes into mental, and then it goes into physical. Hello? But it goes through all these other aspects of my being first before I present you with the finished product. Correct? Okay. So it streams through spiritual. That's usually not a problem. It comes right through there, barreling in. And what can really suck for you is it really builds momentum as it punches through that spiritual. It really comes in on you, right? And you're targeted. Your next level it targets is emotional. If you've got any blockage there, some of that life force is going to stream through, and the rest of it's going to knock right up against that. Right? Now, to be natural would be to let it knock it out of the way. To be unnatural would be to, no, you are going no further. All right, fine. Then I will just shine on this. Well, whatever that is getting life force. It's going to show up in your world. So if it's a thought about some nasty thing that you tuck away and get real weird over, right? And you do not let the light of day penetrate that, it's empowering that. Because it's life force.
Right.
It's empowering, right? Well, what happens if you decide to go, I'm going to take all those filters, all those blockages out, and just let life force come through as it is? What would happen? Unfettered. There's your peace. There's your peace on earth. When y'all get out of the way, right? With the can't accept it, can't accept, no, right? It just keeps hitting it, right? And that's the funny thing about